Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hira Turani and today in this video we'll be talking about a clause, phrase and a sentence. What is the difference between a clause and a sentence and how would we define phrases? So we would discuss the definitions, example and explanation. So let's begin. A phrase is defined as the unit of a sentence and it does not give a complete meaning, does not contain a subject and a verb, and it may or may not be a part of a clause. Example of a phrase can be on the wall. Now these words does not basically give any meaning or a complete thought like what is on the wall. So like talking about these words on the wall, it does not give a complete thought. But if I say a portrait is hanging on the wall, so yes, it gives a complete thought or an idea. It makes a complete sense. A clause is defined as a group of words that gives or contain, it gives a complete meaning, it depends, and contains a subject and a verb. Now there are two types of clauses. These can be classified as independent or main, or dependent, which is the subordinate clause. Now dependent clause is dependent on independent clause, which is the main clause. Now if I say Sarah went to the store before it closed. Now before it closed is the dependent clause. But the clause Sarah went to the store, it can be used independently because it stands alone. It does not need a dependent clause with it. So independent clause is defined as the main clause which can stand alone and it gives a complete idea. Dependent clause is also known as the subordinate clause. It does not give a complete meaning and it cannot even stand alone. Therefore, it is known as dependent clause. Talking about a sentence, so sentence is defined as the group of words which expresses a complete thought. It consists of a subject and a predicate and may contain additional elements such as objects, complements, modifiers, and other things. Example, the cat sat on the mat. Here the subject is the cat and then sat on the mat is the predicate. So it is giving a complete thought. Difference between a clause and a sentence is that clause consists of two types and it is sometimes confused with a sentence. Clause can give a complete meaning when it is having independent clause, and sentence gives a complete meaning. So a phrase never gives a complete meaning, it gives partial meaning. And clause, if there is a dependent clause, then it won't give a complete meaning. And then if there's independent clause, then it can give a complete meaning as it can stand alone. And hence the difference between a clause and a sentence is that a clause has a subject and a verb, whereas a sentence has a subject and a predicate. फ्रेज वो होता है जो कंप्लीट मीनिंग ना दे, क्लॉज वो होता है जो कि सब्जेक्ट और वर्ब अपने अंदर रखता है। एंड क्लॉज के दो टाइप्स हैं, डिपेंडेंट और इंडिपेंडेंट। जो इंडिपेंडेंट है वो मीन क्लॉज होता है, जो डिपेंडेंट होता है वो इनकम्प्लीट मीनिंग देता है और वो सब ऑर्डिनेट होता है। And as talking about a sentence, so sentence is defined as it consists of a subject and a predicate. और sentence और clause में ये difference है कि clause के पास subject and a verb होता है और sentence में subject and a predicate होता है। and sentence हमेशा complete meaning देता है। लेकिन क्लॉज कभी कभी इट डिपेंड्स ऑन अ क्लॉज बिकॉज इट इज़ हैविंग टू टाइप्स के क्लॉज इंडिपेंडेंट है या डिपेंडेंट है। तो अगर इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज है फिर वो कंप्लीट मीनिंग देगा और अगर डिपेंडेंट है फिर वो इनकम्प्लीट मीनिंग देगा। So this was all about my video. Thank you so much. I have started explaining in Urdu as well because a lot of suggestions poured in my comment section. I'll meet you guys in the next video.